turn this thing. I gotta turn my Wi-Fi off. Lord of mercy, Jesus. Here we go. I am excited for today, you guys. We're gonna have a great conversation. You know, I've gone on this man's network before. I don't went on Mr. Let Go stuff, and he's been first off dope. Okay, because when I first started hearing him speak, y'all may not know, but I did tonight's conversation. Oh, Pam, it's Thursday. Pam, it's Thursday. It's not Friday, but it's okay. So anyway, long story short, I saw him and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this guy. And then when we started talking and vibing, I realized that we got a lot more in common than we do not. So anyway, I'm gonna bring him on. I know he's gonna say some wild stuff, so do not put that to me. Put that to him. I tagged him in the title, so direct that to him. But we're gonna have a good conversation today. We got some good questions and a great couple stories. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Let me go ahead and add him. Y'all welcome Aaron. Well, I could know him as Aaron, but it's Mr. Let Go. It's Mr. Let Go to y'all. It's Aaron to me. All right, let me go ahead and let him in. All right. Oh, Pam said Mr. Let Go cracks me up. He cracks me up too. He cracks me up too.
What's going on?
Well, Mr. Let Go, for the people that don't know you, talk about you and everything you've got going on. Introduce yourself.
Okay, I am Mr. Let Go. My friends know me as Aaron, and I help women and men. I'm not going to just say women, but I help people, I'll say, let go of traumatic memories and dysfunctional attachment styles. And that is the main thing I help people do. I'm not a dating coach. I don't necessarily care if you find somebody, because that's not my business. I'm here to help a person find themselves, because people get in relationships looking to find somebody, but they haven't found themselves. So that's what I help people do.
You have multiple platforms. I'm aware, or a lot of people may be aware of your YouTube, but is there any other platforms that they should look out for as well?
Yeah, my Instagram is right here. I am _Mr. Let Go. I'm on TikTok as I am _Mr. Let Go. And Facebook is MRLETGO, Mr. Let Go. And my content is different on, I would say, all other platforms. So what's up, Rachel? So yeah, I'm kind of multifaceted. I try to give different platforms different content. So, you know, because sometimes you can follow somebody and everything on every platform is the same. So all of my platforms are different. And I do that on purpose.
Well, I like that. I like that a lot. So I'm just going to start off. Well, I'm going to start off with just giving you a question. We're going to warm up. Okay. There's a main question everybody may be wanting to hear, but I can't just start with that, y'all, because then you won't be able to watch the whole show. I need y'all to watch the whole show. So first thing is first. I'm gonna ask you this question. We answered this. We actually did this last night. We talked about this on my live last night, but I want to ask you, since I have you here, what you think about this.
Okay.
How submissive can you be when a man brings nothing to the table but his heart? How submissive can you be? And I'm assuming women. How submissive can a woman be when a man brings nothing to the table but his heart?
Well, one, it depends on his heart, because a person's heart is really the most important thing. You know, it's not about money. It's not about all these other things. It's not about height. It's not about breasts. It's about heart, you know? So if it's not, oh, and another thing, how submissive can a woman be? Are you submissive already? Because I always believe, whether it's a woman or a man, you can't expect either yourself to be something or do something just because you're over here, because you are what you repeatedly do. So are you submissive at work? Are you submissive to God? Are you submissive in certain, you know, areas in your own life already? So if you're not submissive in other environments, you're lying or just acting like you're submissive because a man, you like, or he's giving you something or whatever. So I don't believe in should you be submissive over here, because if you're not submissive everywhere, you're not going to be submissive over here, or you're lying. So yes, the answer is yes, if that's who you are as a person.
Right. Okay. My answer was this was my response. I feel like if you choose a man and you know that he's coming to the table with nothing but his heart, you still have, as a woman, you still have I believe in that order. I believe in order. And so for me and my spiritual beliefs, I believe that if I'm choosing a man that I know don't bring nothing to the table but his heart, I'm still called to be submissive to him. Now, I have to now take accountability for my choices. If I'm choosing a man that doesn't bring anything else to the table but his heart. And so that was my response to that.
Right. So it's about, one, what you want, two, what you need, because these are two different things, right? Can you delineate what you want versus what you need? See, what you need may be a man's heart. What you want may be a man that has a whole lot of money. But are your needs more important than your wants in your life? Because a lot of people, their wants are more important than their needs.
Right.
So yeah, another man may have some money. Because, okay, are we talking about a man that has no money, no job, no car, or a man that just doesn't have a lot of money, or, he's just able to take care of himself and he's meeting you? So which one?
It says nothing but his heart. So
he has nothing. He lives with his mama. That's a little bit of a different story. Yeah, he's not even an adult then.
So in that situation, if he's living with his mama, hypothetically speaking, let's say he don't have a home. Let's say what I call him, he's a homosexual.
Homosexual.
Homosexual, yes.
Yeah.
He's a homosexual and he don't have a home.
Well, that means his heart is with his mama. Because he still lives with her.
Is that why?
The only reason why a grown man still lives with his mama is because his heart is still with his mama. He doesn't want to leave the nest, huh?
What if he don't have no other option? Maybe what if he's like not working, so he doesn't have any other option?
There's always another option other than your mama. You can live with your homeboy. Dudes be living with chicks. You get you a fat chick and go live with her. Whatever.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
Yeah, these dudes will get with a fat chick and be like, boom, feet up, chilling, looking at they fitness in screen TV, eating their food. Fat chicks love, have a whole lot of food. So yeah, what? So I think
go viral today. We're not gonna do that today. We're not doing.
So I think if a man lives with his mama and he's over 30, it's a choice to live with his mama. Because in my opinion, a man has to make a choice to be lazy. Ooh. Being lazy is a choice.
No, you're right about that.
Being homeless is a choice. Like, these are actual choices. You don't just wake up and you're just like, I have no options. You can do something. You're just making a choice not to do it. So dudes that live with their mama, their heart is still with their mama. I think Marlon Wayans said one reason why he didn't get remarried or married or something is because he knew his mom was like the most important person of his life. So some of these dudes, their heart is literally with their mama. That's why they ain't left their mama.
Wow.
That's my opinion.
Wow. Okay. So there's a lot we can go there. I'm gonna choose another question here. We're gonna go with the question. Okay. Oh my goodness, I have so many different things here. Let me see. Okay. So what to do if you are doing all the things right,
Mm-hmm.
the woman is just never content or grateful. What to do if you're doing all the things right, but the woman is never content or grateful? I have a response, but you go first, sir. You get the first hit.
Okay, the simple response is nothing, because nothing that you do works. So whatever it is that you do next ain't gonna work either, because nothing you do is enough for her, right? You're dealing with a woman that is ungrateful, so you don't do nothing. And I think a lot of men, a lot of women don't see that. So they keep grasping for straws, trying to find something to get through to this woman. Why? There's so many. As a man, because I can't speak for women.
Right.
Women outnumber us, what, 4 to 7 to 1, depending on what city you're in. So why do you just go get another one? Gucci Mane used to say women are like buses. You stand in one place long enough, here's another one is going to show up in front of you. So guys, stand somewhere for 45 minutes. I promise you, an attractive woman is going to walk past you just like a bus. Shout out to Gucci Mane.
Okay, so you're you leave me a lot of room to move in that one. So my response to that, okay, would be that if you're doing, I feel like a lot of men, and I see this a lot. And to your point, Mr. Leko, I feel like when someone is not happy with no matter what you do, no matter how many things you do right, no matter how many things you're trying, the attempts that you're making to make this person happy, that person isn't happy.
Right.
So I feel like there's a lot of times women and men, they go into relationships trying to fulfill needs that we should be responsible for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We have to meet certain things for ourselves. And if we don't meet those needs for ourselves, we will be looking for in a partner what we should be getting from ourselves.
Yep.
The validation, the love, all of those things. So to me, if this woman, no matter what you do, isn't happy, well, then that's because she needs to be doing the work to make herself happy. What is she doing to fill her own cup up? And if you're always trying to meet the needs of this person, you're gonna at some point get depleted. Being like, what am I doing here? And get resentful because you're like auditioning and putting on shows to keep her around and keep her happy, and nothing's keeping her happy. And so you're like, you know what, forget it. I ain't gonna do it no more. I'm done. I'm resentful,
I don't believe in keeping a woman happy. Like, that's impossible. A woman is going to start whining about something at some point, going to complain about something. I ain't got time to be running around trying to keep a woman happy. If you ain't happy when I met you, see, when I meet you and you're happy, I can add to the happiness that you already have, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So as long as you don't go below the happiness that I found you at, it ain't none of my business. Because as long as you're not below that, hey, you're better off than you were when I met you, because you were happy by yourself. Now you're happy with me. And if you're not happier, well, okay, we can work on that. But I'm not gonna bust my butt trying to make you happy. I ain't got time for all that. Because a woman is never going to be happy.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Happiness is, we talked about this in my coaching group. Women or men, like, this quest for happiness is never going to happen, because the way your brain works from a dopamine standpoint, you see something, you smell something, you want something, and then you get something, and now you're happy, right? So you're happy when you see something, you're like, oh, there it is right there. And then you go after it. The pursuit makes you happy, and then you get it. You're satisfied when you get it, whether it's a woman or a cupcake or whatever. Now you're happy. But once you eat the cupcake, once you get the woman or have whatever it is your goal is, the dopamine is going to stop. So you're no longer going to be happy once you got the girl, once you got the man, once you get married, once you get the thing, the money, whatever. Imagine being a millionaire. Now you want 2 million. Now you want to maintain your millions because you got taxes, you might got a lawsuit. So now you need at least about 5 million in order to continue being a millionaire. So the happiness never goes away, because sometimes being happy, trying to maintain that happiness, causes you to be sad.
Yes, it comes with a cost.
It's a maintenance of happiness that causes you to be unhappy.
Right. Yeah. I want to ask you a question, Mr. Lecko, because I see that we talked about this privately. Now there's a lot of men on here, and we talked about how men today may not be looking for certain things, right? They're not looking for the right things. I feel like men today need to be more discerning about the choices that they're making in women. And so with the men here, like what should a man be looking for in women as he's dating, as he's deciding on whatever he's deciding on? I think you should be even picky about the women you bring into your bed. I mean, I feel like that has come with costs, men. So what do you think men should be looking for when dealing with women? Like, what are some major factors that they need to be looking for that they may not be looking for now?
The number one thing you have to be looking for in women is you. Because if you aren't doing what you're supposed to do, like, for example, just like I say about the fat chick, you know, dudes be trying to live with fat chicks because she fat. So if you're a fat dude, right, you can't be looking for a Samantha Lee because you're fat, right? So you got to look for what you are. You know what I mean? So if you aren't on a certain level financially, if you're not going to the gym on a normal basis, you ain't eating right, you need to get with you a chick that ain't eating right, that ain't going to the gym, and ain't where they need to be financially. So you got to look for who you actually are in a person. Just find a female version of you to a certain degree, you know, because there's nothing wrong with finding your opposite or whatever. But from a personality standpoint or a direction standpoint, y'all got to be wanting the same thing, going in the same direction. So the first thing you look for is somebody that encompasses or embodies you, just in, you know, with titties. You with titties. So,
if that was you, what would you be looking for?
So the me with titties would be a woman.
What would that look like, Mr. Lecko? Paint a picture for us.
A woman that doesn't depend on aesthetics, right? I'm not the person that's going to have the long hair and all this crazy stuff or whatever. This is just who I am, right? So a woman, there's nothing wrong with a woman with long hair, but is it her long hair? You get what I'm saying? So does a woman, and there's nothing wrong with weave or whatever, but do you depend on aesthetics, right? I don't wear ball caps all the time. So it's certain dudes that can't leave out the house, can't get on a YouTube live or can't get on an Instagram live without having a hat on, without having it. They're depending on aesthetics, right? So I would look for a woman that does not depend on aesthetics. Now, I could wear a hat, cool, but I don't depend on a hat. So a woman can wear whatever, but does she depend on the wear whatever to make herself feel good? I don't seek validation in aesthetics, right? So that's one thing. A woman that works out at least 3 times a week.
Okay. Because
I work out 4 or 5 times a week.
Okay.
So does that make a woman that is structured? Like I can eat salmon every day and not be mad, right?
Me neither. The same here.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily I'm not a foodie, because that's kind of like why people be dying and stuff, because they eat so much and they eat so much different stuff. Next thing you know, so you either fat or you got some health issues or something, right? So a woman that is okay with having a simple diet instead of be like, ooh, ooh, I ain't got time for all that. I ain't got time for no woman who just run all over the city like, ooh, let's go to this restaurant. I go to a restaurant, but I'm not finna be this foodie person that's gonna be chasing you all over the city, going to all these different restaurants. I ain't got time for that. I got other stuff to do. So a simple thinking woman when it comes to
food,
life altogether.
Gotcha.
A family-oriented woman.
Okay.
I'm not buying you no bag or no purse or whatever the mess. I'm not doing all that stuff. Like, I'm a practical person, you know. I'm gonna spend money on you, but I'm not buying all this stupid. I'm not buying you all this stupid stuff. I'll do something nice for you. We can go to another country, all that, but I'm not doing it to impress you. So a woman that doesn't necessarily care about impressing people, like, I say what I say, and everybody kiss my ass. I don't care, right? So that's an example of how a woman can say, you know, she's respectable, but I'm not doing it for the gram. I'm just doing myself. So that's me with titties.
Okay.
Me with nice titties too. Just
nice ones. Okay. Are you a breast guy? Is that your thing?
I'm a ass guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So so somebody said, I think one of your people, because it looks like it has a little connection thing. He was saying, essentially, you were saying that what is it? Can she go out to an event, fresh face, out the shower, no makeup, no cosmetic, and no added hair?
Right.
That's the test he's talking about. Is that kind of in line? Okay.
Yeah. Can you go to the grocery store? Some of these women can't even go to Walmart or Target without getting glammed up. I ain't got time for all that.
Well, that's true. Now that's true. Now that's true. There's women that definitely need all that. That's wild. You know, and ladies, it's not good for you to have that much makeup on your, like, it's not good for your skin. You know, people don't know my age unless I tell them, and I tell them my age all the time. But the reason why is because I really try not to wear makeup unless I have to. Because it's not good for your skin. It has aging properties. So you have to be careful about what you put on your skin to begin with.
The same thing that makes you look young makes you look old, and women don't understand it, but it's kind of common sense.
Yeah, anything that you're putting in, like, to your point, like with salmon, vegetables, fruit, things like that, when you just have no hormones or preservatives in it, or as little as possible, your body does much better. It's real stuff. When you start putting in like processed foods like chips and popcorn, all these other things that they have other things in, it does slow down your processing. It does affect your body. So it's very important to have those things. I know we're not talking about diet, but
let me tell y'all something. I eat lemons, like whole lemons. Well, I don't eat them. I put them in a blender. I take the whole lemon and drop it in the blender. The whole lemon, the skin, everything.
And you drink it.
Yeah, I drink it.
And what does that do for you?
It's a lot of properties in that. So I'm just that type of person. You know what I'm saying? I do research on fruit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm a nerd when it comes to that. You know, so yeah.
No, I've said this before. I have lupus. And with me having lupus, I have to be careful about what I put in my body. I don't have the lupus that affects my organs or anything like that. Mine is subcutaneous, so it's like my skin.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You wouldn't know it looking at me. I didn't know it for a while. I didn't know it runs in my family. My grandmother had it. My mom has it. I have it. But it's something where I have to watch what I put in my body, because any type of like processed food does bring up what they call a flare up with lupus. So
yeah.
So anyway, I was, to your point about what to look for. I think that men also asked me this question. This was asked a lot to me, but I wanted to put it to you first and then to me. What do I look for in a man? I get that a lot. And I've said to you, and I've said to other people before, I'm really big about like typical masculine, what we associate with masculine qualities. My stepdad was in my life. My dad was in my life. So they kind of taught me like, okay, men are protectors, providers. There's certain things that emotionally, obviously, I want to feel needed. I want to feel desired. I want to, those types of things. I think character is a very big thing. I like a man of integrity, a man of his word. If he said he's going to do something, he's going to do it. If he's intentional in all of his actions, he leads his life well.
Mhm.
Certain things like that. That's what I look for when it comes to a man. I don't want a man that I have to kind of bring to where I'm at, because
Yeah.
I've struggled with that in the past. But like meeting a man where he's at a level where he doesn't need um me, or I don't need him. Like he's got his own situation. I have my own situation, and like I don't feel like I can be used in any way. I know that sounds crazy, but like Mr. Lego and myself, we both have platforms, and there's people that can just try to use us as a means to a come up, versus
Yep.
actually genuinely being interested in us. And I think that a lot of times it's easier to find people that, or it feels safer to me to find somebody that has a platform already, or has certain things. They don't need me for anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Because
that's
we could turn around and get used out here for real. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think people realize how hard it is for people that have platforms, or people that, it's hard to find sometimes very, genuine people that actually are interested in you, and not other
Yeah.
things.
Because the thing about it is, a person can either use us for our platform or try to take our platform down because they're mad.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah, so it really is a lot, and it gets it puts you in a like, because when I was a Pookie, man, I had the best time. Like, yeah,
Oh,
I had a ball being a Pookie, but I know I can't be a Pookie no more, so I don't do
what do you mean?
Pookie
How'd
anymore.
you have fun being a Pookie? What is that? So what did
Huh?
that mean for you to be a Pookie? And how'd you have fun being that?
I was having so much fun where I would actually run into a woman that I recognize, but I don't like. I'm like, did I sleep with her or no? So yeah, hey Aaron, I'm like, hey, we hug, and I'm like, I could tell by the hug whether or not. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I hit this.
Sure I did.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Okay.
I used to have women live in my house, and
Live like
yeah,
LIVE, live in your
yeah,
house.
yeah, not different women, but one woman at a time. I think it would have been cool. I wasn't that much of a Pookie where I had multiple women living in my house. I think that would have been awesome though, but I didn't do that.
So Pookie means you just in these streets heavy. Like you
Yeah,
was just
just
non-committal.
yeah, dating without a purpose. I was it was a certain point back in 2000. I think between 2007 and 2009, I was a Pookie because I was actually broke. Also,
Oh.
that was during the recession. I lost my job, and I was,
Yeah.
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 'Cause I would say a Pookie is a guy that uses women or utilizes women to cope with their insecurities, or utilizes women who needs a man so she can cope with her own insecurities.
Wow.
So yeah,
Oh,
two insecure people, sleeping together so they can cope with their issues, insecurities, or
wow, that's good. So that's what you call a Pookie.
yeah.
It's basically when you use people to fulfill other needs. Like it's whatever insecurity that is, whether you're homeless, whether you
Mhm. You
um
need something, so
validation.
you attach yourself to another person, and you
Yeah,
kind of like suck some of their life from them, but the other person could be sucking your
like
life from you out at the same time.
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So it might be okay. So
Yeah.
somebody asked, which I think is interesting to talk about, can a woman be a hobosexual?
A woman, no, a woman isn't necessarily a homosexual unless she's purposely using men to live with them. And there's okay, so if a woman doesn't have anywhere to stay, a lot of women, I'm just gonna be real, a lot of women don't have nowhere to stay. All right.
A lot of women. Give me a
Yeah.
percentage. A lot
Okay.
of women?
The majority of women in Atlanta,
Atlanta?
I would say under the age of 25, live with their homegirls, their sisters, their cousins, their somebody, their auntie or whatever. And the reason why, because everybody moves from from somewhere else to Atlanta. So when they originally move here, they don't get their own place because it's too expensive. Or they don't even have a job. Like after the Freaknik days was over, everybody just found a way to move to Atlanta, and they just are here, and they live with other people, roommates, stuff like that. So what's going on, Sir Hale? So the whole thing about it is women are still doing that to this day. You go be a hoe in Texas, you go be a hoe in Nebraska, you go be a hoe, whatever. And then once everybody done had you, you like, all right, I ain't never gonna find no man in this city because I don't let every man smash. Time to move to Atlanta. So it's kind of like a thing. It's like a bill that goes
off. Not gonna help you because
no,
are not.
We accept hoes here.
We're hoe accepting.
Yeah, we're one of the few states that receive hoes. So
we receive them well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when you say we receive them well, what does that mean?
It's on the
Is it on the flyer to come to Atlanta?
Yeah, it's with the state. You know, you go to the state capitol, like it's an article that, we don't turn away hoes. I'm joking.
I know, I'm laughing about it because I think that's hilarious. I think that's very funny. Atlanta's a new beginning in movies too. Okay.
Yeah. So altogether, a lot of people, a huge amount of women don't live by themselves. They what?
Oh, jeez. Somebody said. I guess somebody on your page. They said all inclusive. Oh, so funny.
Yeah, we accept hoes. We love hoes here.
God. Okay.
And they have sex in order to make it.
So is that not considered a homosexual?
Yeah. But I'm just saying it's accepted is what I'm saying. So a woman can be a homosexual, but it's accepted here in Atlanta. I don't know about other states. Women will live with a dude and they looking for a man.
You ain't lying. I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that. That's true.
But it's two reasons why. One, just like I said, I would have a chick living in my house. You get to the realization like, this nigga don't want me. I know this ain't going to turn into nothing. He just got me walking around because I got a fat butt and I'm walking around my panties and waking up next to him. Everyone, this is not sustainable. At some point, this is going to implode, right? So you literally don't have nowhere to stay. So you start looking for a boyfriend while you living with a dude. And it's just like it's like an unsaid thing because the dude don't really want you either. And at some point we get tired of you walking around our house because the dopamine kind of like went down and we don't love with you. We're not in love with you or whatever. It was just something cool. You kind of was live with your sister and you needed somewhere to stay, but you ain't got no real job or good job. So live in my house, give me all kinds of ass. And we are happy, but at some point, time to go.
Time to go. So my question with that is that not with men that allow women to live with them and they're just kind of like, oh, she's got something that I'm attracted to. Mm-hmm. How long does that last? I mean, how long because I've seen people that say that they are not in a happy relationship, but circumstantial and do this for years.
Yeah. I would say on average, like 9 months. You meet somebody, y'all dating for like 3-4 months. And then, for whatever reason, because a lot of the times this happens in strip clubs all the time.
Okay.
You meet a stripper. And then all of a sudden she starts telling you her sob story about she just moved here from Cincinnati and she don't know nobody.
Okay.
All you got to do is be like, oh, wow, where you staying at? My cousin, my sister, whatever. Oh, well, let me get your phone number. Boom, boom, boom. She fine enough or whatever. You like, I can get me a 9, just looks wise, ain't got no sense and ain't got no money and is a stripper just trying to figure her life out. So let me tell y'all something. A lot of strippers are homeless. There are strippers that live in their car. I just want to say that. So next thing you know, all a dude got to do is be like, get acquainted with her, get used to her, whatever, and then be like, yo, you know what? Forget your sister. Because guess what happens? Because it's a lie. They'll get on the phone. She'll be like, oh, my sister, she's just tripping. She said this, she said that. Oh, we're not getting along. She's trying to fight me. She's trying to get you to say, well, why don't you just move my house? And then the second you do it, she's like, okay. And then boom, you got a chick living in your house.
Wow. To your point, have you heard this story told to you by a number of people, or this just has happened to you a lot?
It happens. I don't take debate, but you go to a strip club, that's at least 1 or 2 strippers are going to hit you with that story. I just moved here from so-and-so. I live with my sister. That's literally what the game is. And you know what I mean? But I've never let a stripper live in my house.
Why not? Pookie days.
In my Pookie days,
yes.
I don't trust strippers because a lot of times, not all, but a lot of times they either or all, they doing drugs, they're alcoholics, or they selling booty. So you don't want a person that's doing either one of those 3 or all of those 3 living in your house and they got access to your bills laying on the table. Because guess what? Strippers are really cool with scammers. So all she needs is a couple bills that don't came in your mailbox. She lived there, so she go to your mailbox, grab a couple of your bills, get a bank statement, hand it to her little scammer dude that still be hitting her up every now and then boom, she done scammed you out of everything. So no, I don't trust strippers. I would never let no stripper get close to me. I've dated a stripper, but I never let her get close to me.
So when you say you dated her, was that like you slept with her, or like you was taking her out on dates?
Okay, if you sleep with a stripper, most likely you probably paid her. Dating a stripper is a way of sleeping with a stripper for free.
Okay.
You get a phone number and y'all actually start dating, and it's you ain't gotta pay.
Oh, okay. So way to do it without having to pay her.
Yeah, it's date her. Because I'm not gonna say, have I ever paid a stripper? I don't think I've ever paid a stripper to do anything, to have sex. I don't think I've ever did that before. No, I haven't. But altogether, I've dated strippers.
Okay. All right. Next question, y'all. Somebody said sounds like he has personal experience. He's admitting to having personal experience, Charles. That's what he's saying. I have had personal experience.
Yeah.
I know this. He said, I know how this moves. Okay.
Atlanta's crazy.
Atlanta is crazy. So okay. So this is a good question because I have a good answer for this. It says, why is it so hard for women to take accountability or accept accountability?
Okay, repeat the question again.
Somebody asked, why is it so hard for women to accept accountability?
Because they don't have to.
Women don't have to.
They have vaginas.
Okay, so that part of our being keeps us from taking accountability.
It will be nice for women to take accountability, but they don't have to. So why start doing it? I always say women are children. So I'm okay with women not accepting accountability because they're children, and from a women are children perspective, if you look at everything a child does or everything a parent does for a child is what we are expected, because depending on how it goes depends on the person, but we're expected to do the same thing for a woman, and they act like children. So we treat them like children when it comes to taking care of them and feeding them. We literally feed y'all. You know what I'm saying? When we're in a relationship, we feed you. What do you think a date is? I'm feeding you.
Okay.
I'm providing food for you. It ain't no woman on this planet that don't want to go out to eat. I'm feeding you, so all together, I'm providing for you. I'm protecting for you. I'm protecting you like I would do for my own family, kids or whatever. So, and then women act like children. So with all that being said, when men, and another thing, when it comes to the women don't want to be accountable, and I look at it from an approach of women are children. I never get mad at a woman.
You don't get mad at women?
No, because I expect you to act out. I expect you to do something dumb. I expect you to run over my mailbox. I expect you to
run over your mailbox.
Just, because you don't have backup. Back into a pole. Got dents all on your car. The rims of your car is all messed up because you don't know how to park correctly. And when you parallel park, you don't rubbed up against the curb. I expect your tire to have curb marks, because women just are careless when it comes to little things like that. And I accept it and I love it. I was married, yeah.
Okay.
I expect women to back into my garage door because she got a little too close to the garage door and didn't want to go in the garage. Next thing you know, the garage door got a dent in it on her side. And I'm like, yo, where that dent come from? I don't know. I expect all that. You're not going to tell me that you backed into the garage door by mistake. It's okay.
I mean, so I think that, okay, let me let me say something. So I think that to your point about women accountability is my response. We've heard Mr. Let Go. But I would say personally, I think that society does give women a lot of passes. And because we are socialized to just not take accountability, I think that's part of the detriment of society. Women have a lot of statistics show that young women are more insecure than they've ever been. I mean, we're talking about levels of insecurity we've never seen. And so I know that a lot of that has to do with social media. I know a lot of that has to do with the spirit of comparison that we see online today. But I also think that if we are insecure, and I think insecure people don't take accountability. I think that if you're secure, like if Mr. Let Go told me, Sam, you know what, that offended me, or you did this, or you did that, I could say, my bad, I'm sorry. I can own that. My ego can handle you taking issue with something that I've done. But when a person doesn't take accountability, like, if I've had experiences with men that can't take accountability.
Oh,
yeah. It's like a lot of times they'll be like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not, no, I'm not wrong. You're wrong. And just trying to blame shift and really not take the weight of it. And I think a lot of that has to do with, number one, we're not healing. So a lot of us are not healing in me being in therapy for so long and being a therapist. I've learned the hard way how to take accountability. And I know that, like, over time, I could not, when I got into therapy, she would say something to me that would offend me. I would take it so to heart. I had to learn over time how to take accountability. And as I got more and more and deeper and deeper and deeper into all the stuff that, Mr. Let Go, privately, like just my childhood issues, issues that I was just dealing with, the weight I was holding, that unraveled as I got into my healing journey. I was able to apologize and take accountability for my actions. I was able to do these things. So I think that when women are just going to therapy and they're not healing, they're just talking, they're not investing in actually getting better. They're just having a person to vent to, and vent their version to, versus actually like really truly it's true. Women will go into a therapist and be like, well, he did this and it's everybody else's fault. It's everybody else's fault. And there's men that do that too. So ladies, I'm not just coming at you. The question was about women, so I'm talking about women. But they will go in front of somebody and they will just vent their side of the story over and over and over again to new audiences, expecting to get healing on the other side. You have to take accountability, and that enables you to grow. Without taking accountability, you can't grow. So you put yourself in a very stagnant position. So I would say to everybody that's asking about women accountability, I think it's society, but it's to women's detriment.
So Is that her detriment? Yes. But if she has a man, because I think every woman needs a man, and all these independent women talking about they don't need a man, they are the most traumatized women.
No, I agree with that.
When you realize that, like what you said, you had to unlearn some things and start learning some other things, right?
Correct.
A woman doesn't really need all of that. It'll be great. My thing is this. Pastor Miles Monroe said this.
Yes,
you're never going to find a woman that is perfect and put together the way you want. You as a man, your job is to construct that woman into what you need her to be. So with my women or children mindset, if a child goes and sticks a fork in a light socket and gets shocked, the child is going to run to you crying and immediately point at the light socket. The light socket shocked me. No, you did something to get yourself shocked. That's an inanimate object. Why are you blaming a light socket? But that's what women do, right? So with that understanding, it's almost like, and I'm not saying a woman can't be totally healed and all the other stuff, but they aren't expected to come totally healed. It's just not an expectation. So this is when men get mad, argue with women, fight with women, because either the woman is lying about coming totally healed and he finds out there's some discrepancies and he gets mad because she lied, or he's like, oh, what is wrong with you, right? I believe in acceptance. So I'm going to accept a woman for being a woman. I accept a woman's full nature. And a great book to read for anybody watching is The Way of the Superior Man. He literally says that the feminine nature is all over the place. The feminine nature is just leaf in the wind, right? So with all that being said, even a woman that is comes healed and all that, she's still gonna be all erratic. She's gonna regress, start whining about something dumb or whatever, but it's not dumb to her, you know. So I accept that. And too many men, because remember I said I don't get mad at women, I don't argue with women, because I accept her nature as a woman. So I don't have a reason to be arguing with her, because it's like arguing with your kid. She's going to regress. So a woman isn't a child. She's not a child. But a woman regresses so many times within a day where she presents herself like a child throughout most of the day. If she's sitting down at work, she's not a child. But she's in traffic, she's a whole child. You know, when she's over here, she's a whole child. When she's on the phone with her homegirls, she's a whole child. Girl, you know, so women act like little children or 12-year-olds, and it's okay because, okay, let me go a little deeper in this. Women have lived as prey their whole lives, right?
Okay.
Men have lived as predators their whole lives, right? We sit around like, oh, I'm gonna get her, and I gotta see what I need to do, what I need to say in order to get her phone number, right? So we kind of like see her over there, and we're the one trying to go through the crowd and get her, right? The woman is a prey, whether that's a positive or negative. She's a woman who's like, hey, you know, lets the guy in. Oh, he's nice or whatever. Or either, you know, a bad situation and she's prey, right? So I want you to think about this, Sam.
Okay.
And we're looking at female nature and how being a female is not a bad thing. And you shouldn't argue with a woman and get mad at a woman for just being a woman. The pet that we always have in our house is always a pet with canine teeth.
What you mean, like a dog? You talking about a dog?
Even if in Dubai they have pet tigers, right?
Yeah, they have different kind of pets. Yeah,
right.
More exotic pets. Yeah.
The majority of our pets are predators. Nobody has ever had a pet deer. You might have a pet rabbit, but that's mainly your kid. You're not going to have a pet deer in your house. Why? Because deer are prey, and prey aren't trustworthy because they're always in their head. They're like, oh, what's that noise? Yo,
I see where you're going. I see where you're going with this, actually.
So women are prey. Their brains are like prey. As a man, you have to understand that a woman is always going to act like prey. And we are predators, so we always just gonna be sitting there chilling, like, because ain't nobody trying to kill us, and nobody trying to get at us, and nobody trying to have sex with us. We just chilling. We looking at the world, trying to get the world. Women are used to people getting them. So at the same time, when you look at women, you gotta understand that no matter how much she either lies or tells the truth about her being healed, she's not, because she's prey. At some point, she's gonna do whatever, and accept that. So when a man starts arguing with a woman or gets mad at a woman, fights with a woman, most likely is because you're like, why are you acting like that? You need to act like this. And you're trying to control. And that's when controlling comes in. You got to allow a woman to be herself. She's been prey all her life. She's going to, get triggered by random stuff. Let her be her.
So here's where I can level with what you're saying. I do agree. Statistics show that women have higher rates. Like there's like 5 big traits, in human beings. One of them is neuroticism. Yes. And women have higher rates of neuroticism. Right. Which means neurotic, if you guys know, it's like negative emotions, meaning we struggle with anxiety, depression, things like that, because we are the weaker of the two. And so therefore we tend to be more security seeking. We tend to be more anxious. We tend to be in our heads a lot more. That's statistics. So for that, I do understand what you're saying is that women, I think part of where I can receive is that women are going to be women. No matter how healed they are, there are certain things that comes with being a woman. There's certain things that comes with the estrogen that runs through our body. And so men being accepting of that and not fighting that, but just saying, hey, she gonna have a moment. This is how women are. I'm gonna let her have her moment, and we can get back into it. And I think a lot of men try to fight a woman's nature instead of accepting it. And that's to your point. I think women on here, regardless of what our nature is or is not, I definitely want to emphasize that it's very important for us to have real conversation with people that do hold us accountable, regardless of our nature. You are responsible for you. And I think a lot of women walking around today, they have not taken the proper accountability or the proper inventory of certain things that they've gone through in their life. Me and Aaron spoke the other day, and we had a conversation. I'm like, 97% of people are not having, male and female, are not having conversations like we're having right now. Right. Not a lot of people are processing and being able, like, Mr. Lego will ask me a question and be like, yeah, I do struggle with that. And he'd be like, okay. And we move on to the next thing. Like, it would just be us being able to have this type of conversation. I think a lot of people, because we're afraid of really digging into the things that make us who we are and the ways that we act, because yes, I'm neurotic. I ain't gonna lie to nobody. I got tendencies. Okay. I'm gonna own that all day long, twice on Tuesday.
You're a woman. You're supposed to.
Right. I might have a little bit more than the average woman. Actually, we're being real with you.
When a woman is able to admit that and not lie and say, oh, I'm perfect, I'm this, because this is the reason why men get mad. Right. Because women operate with their role self and they just act like they're perfect in order to get whatever it is that they want from the man or to be with the man. And next thing you know, things slowly just start unraveling, right?
Right.
You start boop, boop, start popping. And all of a sudden you're like, yo, who is this person? And now the man feels lied to. But if a man just accepts a woman's nature as, okay, I know she lying. You open, But most women lie and say, "Oh no, I whatever." Right? There's remnants because nobody's totally healed. So the neuroticism, like a deer being in your house, is going to come out in the woman. You feel me? So the thing about it is, as long as you accept the deer that is a woman, or woman that is the deer, you're okay. You know, you could just, pet the deer, or just, hand the deer, get a deer some food, take out to eat. The easiest way to deal with an argument, guys, thinking about giving the deer some food, because if you on your back porch and you want a deer to come to you, you get a deer some food. Same thing with a woman, right? So if you're going at it with a woman, right, all you got to do is do this. And guys, I usually charge for this information, but I'm gonna give y'all some free game. This is the reason why I never argue or had a full-blown argument with a woman. We had, but it's never been a full-blown argument. All you got to do is say, look, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. I'm finna go and I'm gonna say her favorite restaurant. What you want back? And I'll be back.
That's good. That's actually very good advice.
What's your favorite, place, whatever, favorite food?
In Atlanta, I would say, in the Atlanta area.
Don't say it because you don't want to. You never want to, because this is. See, I'm being a protector.
Sure.
Never want to tell random people where your favorite place is, because they can sit out in the parking lot or just be there all the time and they'll run into you. So never tell nobody your favorite place you usually go. But what's your favorite food?
No, that's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, it's like I like Dominican food. I like Dominican food. Yeah.
So if me and you going back and forth and and I don't see no way out of this, I'm gonna say, look, I'm about to go to Dominican blank or whatever. What you want back? And then, by the time we get back, you don't calm down, I don't calm down, and we can eat. What you want? See, I'm asking you a question. You can't go past that question. What you want?
You gonna win with that one. That's a great way. Mr. Let go in line on that. If you ask me what I want to eat, you gonna go to my favorite restaurant? I'll be like, and I'll be mad answering too. Right? Steak or whatever. I might give you all that. But
and then that's what you're gonna say.
Nice person when you come back.
Right. And then you're gonna say, I go with you. Okay.
Or no, when you get back, I probably in my head talk to my home. If I'm that type of female, I'm just going into what women do. But if I'm that type of woman, be like, you know what? He understand me. He know that I'm crazy. He just
He know that I'm crazy. Right.
He know that I got, I be overthinking. I'm anxious, and we do appreciate, like, the acts of service thing. For me, goes a long way. If you do something when I'm upset, that's why it's important to know somebody's love language. Because if you do something that when I'm upset that speaks my love language, I'm gonna get over it. But otherwise than that, I'm like a bull. I'm stubborn. I can be very, very stubborn. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's just like giving a deer some food to,
or pet them, as you so eloquently either.
Get a woman some food and she'll calm down. I ain't got time to be arguing with a woman.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, so we gonna go ahead into the real. We had a question that I advertised that we gonna answer, and we gonna answer this question because Mr. Lego gonna have me on the deer thing. And
hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Y'all. So that deer thing really took me out. That was funny. Okay, that was when he said you can either pet the deer or feed them. Okay, so. Okay. No, we're getting into that question now, LH. We are getting into the question now. I'm gonna find it. Where is this thing at? I'm gonna find it. We got a couple long questions, so it's gonna be a good okay, here we go. You ready, Mr. Let Go? Ready for this one? Y'all ready for this one? This is the question of the hour, but we've got a lot of good questions. But since we had an hour, we're gonna go ahead and get into this question.
And hold on.
Sure.
Put a 1 in the chat if y'all are ready for this question.
Oh, good.
And
Yeah.
2, hit the like button. A lot of y'all have not hit the like button. Make sure to hit the like button. Go ahead.
This is a true YouTube professional, y'all. I want to be like Mr. Lego when I grow up. So, but yeah, so hit the like button and put a 1 in the chat if you're ready.
Right.
Like you said. Okay.
I don't see enough 1s. Come on, y'all. Let's go. We're going to drink some water.
Like just like hydrate.
That's
Very
right.
important. Very important, y'all. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of 1s.
And if you're a woman and you got soda in your refrigerator, stay single. Just want to say that.
So if a woman right now has soda in her refrigerator, you basically say stay single.
Unless she's open to get rid of the soda. Because there's a quick fix. Don't buy soda and don't put it in the
all
refrigerator.
men have an issue with soda or just you?
I think soda involving a woman is kind of disgusting.
Really? Any kind of soda?
Like the way a woman is made, like you don't supposed to be putting soda in your body.
Yeah.
We can drink soda. We're men. I drink soda every now and then, but there's a difference. When you just go out, have a soda, cool. You go out, have a drink or whatever. But what's in your refrigerator is not only what you're feeding yourself on a normal basis,
sure,
but it's what you're feeding your kids also.
No, it's true. It's very
so
true.
It's not just that you're feeding yourself soda, which is nasty for a woman.
Yeah.
You're feeding your kids soda. So now I got to deal with telling your kid that you can't drink soda no more. Now they're going to look, Mom, he taking soda away. I don't like him. I ain't got time for that. You got to do that.
I think it is very important, you guys. And if you do have a soda thing, like I used to really like Sprite. That used to be like my favorite soda. I haven't drank soda in several years, which really does help. But I drink I drink 4 of these every day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's about 128 ounces. And then I drink water on deck. And then I drink, y'all, Perrier sparkling water is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy Perrier. Put a lime in it. To me, it tastes like soda. I know if people are like, ew, that's gross, but it really does. I think it's an effective way to not drink soda. So if it just Anyway, so here's the question, y'all. I see a lot of 1s in the chat. We gonna go. So, ... Prior to getting married, my wife and I got tested for HIV, syphilis, etc. I've never had an STD. She told me she never had an STD. Both tests came back negative. Fine. Our first year of marriage was tough, so tough that she started talking back to her exes. Maybe she made a mistake with me. Last week, she confessed that she started talking back to them, but she also told me she had a rash on her leg. I asked her if it is possible that she got that rash from her exes. She said, no, I've had herpes since I was 16. Last week, okay. I said, I thought you told me you never had an STD. The arguments arose. Now we are separated. I called the clinic to see if I can get tested, and they said we test for everything but herpes. So that's how her test came back negative. I don't trust my wife, but I do love her. But I don't want herpes.
He got herpes. What?
But
you want a refund of herpes?
Should I stay?
Come on, I don't want it. You gonna take it back to the store?
Should I stay or should I go? He said, I don't trust my wife, but I do love her, but I don't want herpes. Should I stay or should I go?
You might as well stay because he got herpes too. Like, what? There's no refund to herpes. You got herpes. It is what it is. You can't turn around and put it back in her because y'all ain't together no more.
Well, they're separated. They're not like divorced.
So
he's basically saying, should I divorce her?
So what do you think? Or you want me to go first?
No, you go first. You get the first hit.
Okay, one, do they have kids? Or you don't know?
They didn't give me context for kids. No. It sounds like they've been married for like a year. Doesn't sound like they've been married long.
Okay, so if they don't have kids, yeah, get out. Because if she lied about that and she was talking back to her exes. See, my biggest issue is she was talking back to her exes, right?
Okay.
And not the herpes thing. The herpes thing is bad also, but it's the lying to her exes. I mean, talking back to her exes.
Yeah.
Like, she don't want to be with you no more. Because sadly, this is the sad thing about women. A woman would marry a guy because he's the only guy that asked to marry her. The man she really wants don't want to marry her. So she's going to marry you simply because you asked her.
Facts.
So you don't want to be the dude that is like, oh, if I had to do it all over again, or if I had my choice, I would have married John instead of no.
Wow. So, y'all, I'm gonna read the question again because I know some of you guys are joining us right now. So I'm gonna read the question again because some of you guys may not have heard it. So here's what was written to us. So prior to me to getting married, my wife and I got tested for HIV, syphilis, etc. I've never had an STD. She told me she'd never had an STD. Both tests came back negative, fine. Our first year of marriage was tough, so tough that she started talking back to her exes, thinking that maybe she made a mistake with me. Last week, she confessed that she started talking back to them, but she also told me she had a rash on her leg. I asked her, is it possible that she got that rash from her exes? She said, no, I've actually had herpes since I was 16. Last week, she confessed that she started talking back to them, but also told me she had a rash on her leg. I asked her if it's, okay, no, sorry. I said, I thought you told me you never had an STD. The arguments arose, and now we are separated. I called the clinic to see if I could get tested, and they said we could test for everything but herpes. That's how our test came back negative. I don't trust my wife, but I love her. But I do love her. I don't want herpes. Should I stay or should I go? Mr. Let Go has said that if y'all don't have no kids, then
go.
Get the rubber jacket. Don't you come back no more.
But
yeah, okay.
He now has herpes.
He definitely has herpes. Yeah.
So he has to not be a hypocrite and tell women that he has it, because if he goes out doing the same thing she's doing, he might as well stay with her.
Right. Here's the thing, y'all. To Mr. Let Go's point, I think the bigger issue is her not being faithful than the herpes thing. Y'all are married.
So she cheated? Because I was a little confused when she said she has a rash on her leg, and he said, "Did you get it from your exes?"
Yeah. So
what does that mean?
He was assuming that, herpes can manifest in many different forms. It could be oral. It could be, as we know, genital. A lot of people have oral. We let's not, we all have a certain amount of that within our system. People don't know,
we have cancer, we have herpes. Yeah.
It's in our system. Certain amount. It's just a certain level. A lot of people have oral. Let's be real. In fact, I think the last time I seen it was like 80-90%. That's oral's pretty common, but like genital is the lesser common one. So we are obviously dealing with genital. It can manifest as rashes. It can come on your skin as rashes if you have an outbreak that's bad enough, right? So in this situation, I would say that, he's basically saying, did you mess with somebody and get a rash? Which I thought that was really weird. Like, why would, because he doesn't know she
has. I mean, he cheated? She cheated?
I don't know why he said.
Sounds like she cheated, because how can you get anything from a man that you're not around? So I can assume that means
Well, you would get a rash from an ex, though. How can you get rash?
But you can't get a rash from an ex if you ain't been around them. So for him to say or imply that she got that rash from another man, she had to be around the other man in order for him to think she got the rash from another man.
But don't you think it's a wild assumption? You get a rash and be like, oh, you cheating on me?
I'm just going by what the letter said.
I wouldn't assume like, oh, you cheating, like you got a rash on your arm. Oh, you cheating?
But that's the thing that I don't understand.
That's the part
I'm just a little confused. I'm confused because you got a rash. Did you get that from your ex?
I don't know.
I could just assume that she cheated and he forgave her or something.
Well, he said that she said no. She's like, I didn't cheat. I have, and that's when she disclosed her actual STD status.
Yeah. Okay.
So he assumed that before even knowing that she had even had an STD. So I think it's very strange that he associated a rash. Because, for example, I have lupus. If I have a rash, it's not because I cheated. I have lupus.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's very weird, like thing. Like there's a weird association. But anyway, long story short, she was talking to her exes. So it is what it is. She was talking to her exes. We know that. She was telling them that she thinks she made a mistake. We had a tough year, blah, blah, blah. I think that to me, that's not the sign of a wife. Okay. Because I've been married, you've been married. Our first year of marriage for everybody is an adjustment.
It's an adjustment. That's the word. Yeah.
It's a nice word. It is not easy for nobody. Marriage is not easy the first year. There's a lot of things that you're learning on the go. And so for you to then say, oh, I'm going to start talking to my exes or people I've been sexually involved with, like, why? Like, that to me just shows the level of her commitment. You in year one. So am I going to say, oh, get a divorce? Because you're now saying, oh, I'm getting a divorce. And I think if you were getting a divorce, it shouldn't be because you're not trying to get, the STD that she has. Because at the end of the day, you probably already have it. If you've had sex with your wife, which I'm assuming you have.
Yeah.
You already have you probably have already contracted it. And who better else to be with than the person that you got it from? I mean, that's just what it is. That's just another thing that you just got to deal with. I think the bigger issue for me would be the slick infidelity. Did she sleep with somebody else? No, but she emotionally was cheating on you with somebody else.
She emotionally was cheating at least. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So I don't know if I would just say just throw in the towel because it's very early on. Y'all know I've gone through a divorce and I know how hard that is. And I know that there's people that just want to throw in the towel. I am very big proponent of doing everything you possibly can do to stay together. It sounds like y'all are young. Sounds like y'all are just starting out. Y'all now have a bigger issue. She lied and she was talking to other men. So it's a tough battle.
You saying stay together?
I would say try as hard as you possibly can before you file for divorce. That's what I would say.
No, I want you to cheat on me.
For worse, though, Mr. Let Go. You said for better or for worse.
I want you to cheat on me so I can get rid of you. Like, no, like I can't wait for you to cheat on me so I can get your ass out of here. So I'm sorry. No, I want you to cheat on me so I can get you out of here.
But you don't have to do that to get her out of there. If you don't want to be with her, you could just file for divorce.
No, it's not that I don't want to be with her, but once I found out that you're a hoe, you got to go. I don't want you. And a lot of these women is hoes. So the second I see that you're a hoe, you got to go.
You gotta go. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. If you're a hoe, you got to go. I'm sorry.
Put that on a t-shirt. I think it is different. Somebody said in the chat, I think it's different, Sam, when it's different. Men think about it differently when a woman's cheating. I get that. But you're now married, right? You're married to this person. She lied. Okay. And maybe you can I've had people that have said that because of lying, they were able to get married under false pretenses and they were able to get it annulled. So I mean, that's probably the route I would have gone.
Yeah, there we go.
Because she lied about
a refund.
Medically, seriously, I had a friend that got her marriage annulled after 10 years of being married. And annulled, meaning it looked like she never got married.
Wow.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes. So it's like if you didn't disclose something that was medically relevant, I think that you have an annulment.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. But my perspective is you're married. Marriage comes with things. I have a very different perspective on divorce walking through it. I would never tell anybody to walk through it unless they absolutely it's like we cannot make it work. Like I think we can be a little too casual about the D word. And I know I mean in my life, because of my experiences, I know I've been in the past. But it's like, you just gotta you also gotta determine what you can handle, what you can deal with. But it wouldn't be because of the fact that she has an STD. You got the STD. You've been married for a year. We can assume
that's what I'm saying. To me, it's the dude thing and not the STD. Yeah.
It wouldn't be because of STD. I would change my reason, but I think that if you can't handle, it sounds like he's okay with, like, more okay with her talking to other dudes than her potentially having an STD or having an STD.
Which
he
is
sounds
crazy.
more upset about that than the other. He didn't even bring it up in the end, but he's like, I don't want. If you love her and you okay with her talking to other dudes, the STD shouldn't be a problem, because you all. If the reason for divorce is the STD, you probably got it. You might as well just leave it alone.
You might as well stay. Yeah, that's crazy.
Stay in the marriage. You probably got it. Okay. So let me do this other one. All right. Ooh, okay. Okay. Let me see a one in the chat for everybody that's ready.
And hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Some of y'all still ain't hit the like button.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna see some ones. Once I see like 10 ones. Once I see like 10 ones, I'll do it. 1, 2.
And also, I'm putting a link to buy my card game in the chat. So we need 5 people to click the link to buy my card game that is in the chat also.
Okay. All right. Somebody said born ready. I like that answer. Born ready. I like that. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I saw 10. You ready? You ready, Mr. Lego?
Let's go.
Okay. So I've been dating someone for a year. This is a man writing in. So I've been dating someone for a year. She's constantly disrespectful and dishonest, but then can be loving and kind. She keeps things from me. She's been at my place for a year, but won't fully move in. She says she doesn't know her father, never met him, and this relationship stuff is new to her. I've shown her a healed version of me, and I don't feel appreciated or that she cares as much as she says she does. I've given her and been everything she says she wanted at the beginning. Now she no longer wants marriage or children, and she has a rocky relationship with her mother as well. I feel I no longer want these things either, as far as marriage and more children. I have 3 and I'm divorced. So I don't, what's the question?
That was a question, right?
I guess that's the question. That's the question. He said, he's like, I'm dating somebody for a year. I guess whether or not he should stay in a relationship must be the question. Is that, what do you think about that, Mr. Leko?
I'm not really, and this is just me, I'm not into dating fatherless women. So if you don't know your father,
why is that? Why is that? Fatherless women. Why not?
A fatherless woman doesn't understand manhood. They don't understand the purpose of a man. They don't respect what a man brings, what a man is. Most likely, they've never respected a man. They've never interacted with a man that didn't try to have sex with her. So the only men that she really probably been around was men that, either abused her or tried to have sex with her, like little boys or whatever. So all together, and that's trauma also. So if you don't know your dad as a girl, is different than as a boy, but you never had that opportunity to be a daddy's girl. So you can see that as a certain amount of resentment towards men, because that man took that feeling away from her, right? So she may have a resentment towards men. And then on top of that, she doesn't have a good relationship with her mother.
Yes. Right.
So that means you are a foster child almost. Neurologically, your wiring is all screwed up. If you got to think about this. Most likely, because I don't know this person, your mama didn't love you or your daddy didn't love you. Usually one person loves you or one person was around or something. You were raised by your grandmother or whatever. You're not going to you're not going to have the wherewithal or the capability to cultivate a sustainable relationship with a man. So that's just my opinion. And then it sounds like all of that is true because she's a terrible person and then she's a nice person, and she's a terrible person and she's a nice person. That's probably what her mom did to her. Her mom probably took out all her anger that she had for her daddy out on her. Then she turned around and turned around and like, well, I did it because I love you type of stuff. So most likely she's going to cheat on him with her abusive ex, because I'm quite sure somebody abused her in a relationship. Because chicks like that, I'm not going to say they like abuse, but they're used to abuse. They're used to the back and forth. They're used to men not wanting her. They're used to being neglected. So, like I said, the man that actually wants to marry you usually be not the woman that the woman actually 100% wants. So the man that she's chasing don't want her. Then there's a man chasing her. She just stops chasing him to be with him. And it's just like, all right, you can have me. But she don't really want to be with him.
The guy that she's currently with, she don't really want to be with him.
Right. Okay. So altogether, I would say dump her. Men don't seem to have standards, just like women don't seem to have standards.
I agree, Mr. Leko, and that's where we have to go with this one for sure.
Yeah, these men, in my opinion, are women. And I said on a show I did on my channel, last week, I think, a lot of women are in lesbian relationships with modern men, because the modern men are women with penises.
So what are the traits of a modern man, in your opinion, that we need to look out for? You know, I'm dating, so I need to know.
Yeah, individualism. Any man that has this individualistic way of thinking, he's trash. Because he's not going to love your kid. He's not going to know how to love your kid, because he's always going to look at your kid as your kid and not his kid. Modern men aren't necessarily family oriented. Modern men give up easily. Modern men, they don't even listen to music the same. Have you ever had a time or a night or a day or whatever where you just go down a rabbit hole of old school music and you're in another world?
Yeah, you zone out. Yeah.
Modern men don't have that, because when they were young, it wasn't the Al Greens. It wasn't the love songs. It was the sexual songs. It was the Ushers. Nothing wrong with Usher, but Usher is to a certain degree can have you there, but Usher is probably the end of the nostalgia of the love songs. You know what I'm saying? So they grew up on everything after Usher. The Trey songs, just ain't nobody trying to listen to get nostalgic off no Trey songs. So altogether, they don't have the background to really fall in love with a woman.
Wow.
It's not in them to fall in love with a woman, because they didn't see it growing up. I grew up off of love, you know?
Right.
TV. I grew up off the Huxtables. Modern men didn't grow up off of the Cosby Show. What was after the Cosby Show? Nothing.
Family Matters.
Modern men don't. That's why they hate women so much, because they grew up off of women hating men or men hating women, seeing it, you know?
Yeah.
And there was no thing to balance it out. See,
balance.
We had NWA, Snoop Dogg talking about all this mess about women and, you know, bad mouthing women and saying women are this and that. But the thing that we balanced out was the love songs, you know, the OJs, the Between the Sheets, the Isley Brothers and all that stuff. So we had enough of a balance where we just like, yo, these chicks will take your money and da 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 da. But there's another side of women that is beautiful. They don't know that beautiful side of women. That's why
Yeah.
these dudes on YouTube, these women, because they don't know anything about loving a woman because they never seen it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that we have lost a lot of that, like family dynamics that really that really do make us better as in so many different levels. How we raise our children, how we think, how we grow, the security of our society. Like there's so many things that have been lost in
Yeah.
all of these things changing. And I think that when you're talking about men and you talk about modern men and how they've kind of lost the fact that it's like every man for himself, and I'm gonna get as much money as I possibly can, just keep it for my, that the lack of the provider, the lack of the protector, very individualistic in their thinking. I think we see a lot of that today.
Yeah.
And it's, and to as me speaking as a woman, that's very unattractive.
Right.
And the ability to emotionally regulate, there's is either extreme, like one way or the other. Like either I express no emotion or I express a lot of emotion in a way that is not conducive or constructive.
Yeah.
So
These new dudes, they don't know nothing about no Luther Vandross.
no,
they don't know nothing about nothing, But go ahead.
Yeah. So I think that in this, to the question that we got is that if you're seeing, to me, when I see people be in relationships that seem like most of the time are bad and a little bit good, and you hold on to that little bit of good in order to just have a person, to me, I feel as though what sense of self, what value do you put on yourself? Because if I'm in a negative relationship and I'm with somebody that doesn't treat me well and is doing different things and I'm just kind of settling, it shows that I have a low sense of self. I have a low sense of value of self. If I'm just settling with a person and I'm not necessarily taking in all the factors that I would need in order for me to feel secure and being real with myself. For you to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to live with you, don't want kids with you, don't want marriage, don't want all the things that you don't want. Right. Is most of the time upset, don't have a good relationship with her mom and her dad. You're finding out all these different aspects of her. And you're saying, well, there's this little bit of good, though, that she's nice and kind sometimes. It's like, okay, I need you to go ahead and jump out of that relationship and really start to have a real time with you, because it sounds like you just dealing. There's a quote that says, some people are so afraid of loneliness that they accept the devil as a mate and pretend that they're happy.
Yeah.
Some people are so afraid of loneliness, they accept the devil as a mate and pretend like they're happy.
Yeah.
And in this situation, that's exactly what this person has decided to do. Because I don't want to be alone, because I value companionship, and I really, really want someone that I know, that I understand on some level is a devil I do know. If I put myself out there again, I got to go back out and see and test the waters and find another woman that's interested in me. And we done got comfortable with the abusive cycle, and I don't want to get out of it. I don't want to try something new. I'm comfortable, but I'm uncomfortably comfortable.
I'm uncomfortably comfortable, right?
Uncomfortably comfortable. Like, I know this is not right. I know she don't treat me well.
But guess what?
Disrespectful.
Sometimes people don't think they have a choice. So they just do something bad or stupid because they don't think, like a drug dealer doesn't think he has a choice but to sell drugs.
Right.
So toxic people do things, and the thing that they tell them, well, what else am I supposed to do? I don't have a choice. But there's always a choice. So modern men, modern women don't think they have a choice. And I think, just in my opinion, traditional men and traditional women always had choices.
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy. The world is easier. And because the world is easier, the world is harder. Life is easier. And because life is easier, life is harder for modern people.
Now, what do you mean? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Back in the day, your car break down on the side of the road. You didn't even have a cell phone to call, not Uber, a cell phone. You gotta walk.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never seen, since I've been an adult, a person walking down a freeway. I used to see it all the time when I was young, when I had a car, when I was like 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's you can't just stand there. We didn't have cell phones.
Right.
We didn't have Uber. You call an Uber, your car don't start in the morning. Oh, well, I'll just call Uber. No problem. If your car don't start back in the day, you just late for work. You got to get on a bus.
Yes. You got to figure that thing out. Mm-hmm.
So life is so easy for modern men and modern women where they don't even know what they're complaining about. They're just complaining and they don't even have nothing to complain about. Because in their minds, I'm supposed to complain because everybody else is complaining. And traditional people don't complain because they know we actually see the options that are out here afforded to us because we grew up where the things didn't exist.
Yes, I agree. I agree, Mr. Let Go, because in my experience, and I think that with women have scarcity mindset as well. We battle with that as well. And I've always been very like, I said to myself, like, I only need one. And I'm not super picky, but I only need one man to for me. I don't need a whole bunch of. So there may be guys that maybe are not attracted to me because I have a child. I've been divorced. I'm in my 30s. All these different things. But I don't allow that to keep me in a place of feeling like, oh man, I'm not going to have anybody. I don't believe that. And I'm not going to let myself believe that, because then I feel like then I'm just going to have somebody here that doesn't, and I don't have like, of course, in the past, I used to have this like laundry, long list of things that I wanted in a man. And let me tell you something, he showed up. The man I wanted showed up. What was funny was what I wanted didn't work.
What you needed probably wasn't there. You was just
exactly.
There we go.
Actual facts. What I needed didn't show up, but what I wanted was there. And so for me, I now have to say, God, I surrender my choices. I have not been a good steward of choices when it comes to people that I've decided to be with. So I have like completely surrendered that to God. I'm like, God, you tell me what I need, because I don't know. You know what I need. I know what I want. And when I have not been able, there's times where I believe in my spirituality. Y'all may not be spiritual in that way, but for me, in my spirituality, I believe that God, he knows what I need. He knows what I like deep down, not only the version of me today, but the person that I will be 10, 15, 20 years from now. He knows that version. So I just kind of surrender those choices. But in the past, I would say to myself, oh man, I need this, I need that, I need this, and I need that. And I think that that's like, you're kind of ignorant when you think that way, because you assume this version of you, the 20-something-year-old version of you, is going to want the same thing at 30 and is going to want the same thing at 40. Because at some point, you're not going to be what you are attracted to as Mr. Let Go at 20. You're not attracted to at the Mr. Let Go today. You want something different. And so I think that we have to, I think a lot of times I've had to surrender what I want, because I didn't understand what I needed. And that's what my journey now is. Like, what do I need? Let me stop playing with myself. What is it when I'm with somebody? What am I thinking about those things, and stop apologizing for that. Just owning that. Okay. You know what, Sam, you need that. So go with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, with me, I think just as a man, I've made pretty good decisions as far as my choices in women. And my type is happily the same type as I had back then. It's the
Really?
same type. Yeah.
So, but you just haven't found the right person yet.
Right. I was married, but after that, because it's not necessarily easy, because for the right person to show up, you got to be the right person.
100%.
Yeah, yourself. So I had to learn how to be the right person,
Right. I get that.
Yeah. I found my purpose and all the other stuff. So I am the right person for myself. So I can be the right person for a woman.
I agree with that. There's one more question, and then I'm gonna let you go. I'm
Oh,
not.
and before you ask that question, one, hit the like button, and two, everybody put in the chat your favorite old school artist or the name of the love song back in the day. All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So let me see number one in the chat. Number one in the chat. Number one in the chat. I want to see number one in the chat. If you're ready, hit the like button to Mr. Let Go's point. Hit the like button. This is the last question. Y'all pay attention. It's a good one. It's a long one. I love these long stories. So if you guys are on here and you want to submit questions, I'll be doing this. I will be doing this every week. That's what I do. I answer these questions on live and I enjoy it. I see ones. Somebody said pretty wings. I don't know if that's old school though. That's not that old school.
It's not really old school. It's cool. Maxwell.
Maxwell Rise now. Did you see when he performed with Pretty Wings?
I haven't seen that, but I've seen Maxwell perform.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
He destroys. I mean, Maxwell is incredibly talented.
Yeah, Maxwell is crazy. So we got to add Maxwell just for the sake of Maxwell being him. I don't care what school he is. Maxwell is it. Yeah.
Y'all know I'm a Stevie Wonder fan. I love me some Stevie Wonder.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably not a Stevie Wonder record. I know probably every Michael Jackson record and almost every Stevie Wonder record. Those are the two that I like really. I mean, when I say Michael Jackson, I'm talking about Jacksons. I'm talking about like a Jackson 5. Like I when they went from Jackson 5 to Jacksons, Michael kind of went out on his own. He sang the song Then Michael started out on his own. Like I know the whole journey of Michael. Like
Michael Jackson was amazing when he was with Jackson 5. Like it was still to me like New Edition. That's not old school, but I'm still in love with you from New Edition. Who cares? Like that's what I'm saying. That is, oh my God, that's it right there.
Yeah. You know, you have some really good ones. There's some y'all when we talk about it's a feeling that comes with old school. And people may say, "Oh, you young." My stepdad is a R&B person. So like I listen to all I love R&B.
Yeah.
And I wish I could sing because I would be singing R&B. I love R&B. So there's a feeling about it that does something to me. So yes.
Jesse Powell, you. Woo! All right. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Okay, so this is gonna be the last question, y'all, and we gonna jump off. It's been a great show. Go ahead and hit the like button. I seen the ones in the chat. And we gonna finish this thing out. So last question. Hi, Samantha. I love your insight. Long question. I have been in a relationship for the last 15 years. We met when I graduated college. Long story short, the relationship was toxic. I left after having my second child. We got back together when she was 3.5. Anyways, things have been very rocky. And even though he says he has changed, he hasn't. And things are to the point where I'm happy when he leaves. He wants to try therapy and he says he will change. I had asked him to go for years and he didn't. At this point, I don't even know if therapy would help. Prior to this, I had begged for therapy. We did therapy for one session. He basically never took anything from it. It's a cycle of good for 3 months, bad for another. I don't even know if it's worth wasting my time. No emotional, physical, no support. I feel like every time I want to end, he's ready to change. Thanks.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay.
Get him out of here. A 15 long relationship and they got 2 kids. They ain't never been married. Like, what is these idiots doing? Both of them stupid. Just in my opinion, he don't want to be with her. And like, what are they doing? I don't understand what they're doing. You with somebody for 15 years? Like, they both stupid.
So
text me back and say, both of y'all stupid.
I ain't gonna now. I'm not. That's on you. I'm letting you just rock. I'm letting you go all the way. I ain't gonna coast. I'm gonna just sit here. Oh, okay. Do you have anything else to add?
Altogether, people, I'm not gonna say have to stop, but until people stop having babies out of wedlock and then breaking up. Because if marriages end 75% of the time, relationships end 90% of the time. So it's almost a guarantee if you have a baby with somebody, you're going to break up with the person because there's almost nothing keeping you there. And somebody said before, how can you tell if a man is going to be a good father? Well, part of it is the man marrying you. Okay. So that's the first thing, because they didn't say marriage, right? They just said they was together for
that. She didn't say marriage. She said relationship.
Right. So if a man doesn't have enough common sense, or the woman don't have enough common sense to actually get married before they have a child, both of y'all are trash people, and y'all both deserve to just be single and look stupid. Because because they had 2 kids. So they stupid. Like, y'all stupid. Both. Probably the kids stupid too.
Well, okay.
If your dad is stupid and your mama's stupid, the kid probably stupid.
Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. Here I'm gonna go. So y'all, to Mr. Leko's point, 15 years, y'all have had really gone through all phases of like a marital relationship without being married. In my perspective, I think that, I think you're checked out, because if you're saying that you can't wait till he leaves, you guys are not connecting on a physical, emotional level. You're just not there, but you guys have kids now. So it's like, we're staying together for the family. I think at this point, you have to make a decision. I don't know how old your kids are, whether or not you guys want to do what other people do, where they just stay together for the kids. But if it's toxic, and you said it started out toxic, then I don't think that that's good for any child.
Right.
But I think that to Mr. Leko's point, I think that it's run our course. It's run its course. You guys, 15 years. I mean, I'm sorry, 2 kids, 15 years. Y'all are not married. Maybe you don't believe in marriage. I do agree with having kids in wedlock. I do believe in that. So I'm of course, I'm not going to shame anybody that doesn't. That's just my personal belief system. But at the end of the day, I think that when you're talking about kids, I don't know what your motivations have been. Maybe you've been in love, but it just seems like you have just kind of run its course. The relationship has absolutely run. It seems like it's run its course. And so if that's what it sounds like, that's what the situation is, then you have to make an executive decision. And I think it maybe it's time to go. Therapy, every time you say you're done, now he wants to change. That's an exhausting cycle for 15 years. There's no motivation. And again, people, we always want to threaten people into becoming or complying what we want them to be. Right. And so for me, if someone's does not have the motivation to change or better themselves on their own,
them 15 years now, after 15 years.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. If you've been doing that for so long, what makes you think that now he's going to do it? If he hasn't done it, we have to sometimes, and a lot of times, look at history to decide what somebody's going to do in the future tense. And so I think that if you guys did, it was year 1 or 2 and you had the conversation and he started making changes, but if it has not happened, then you have to stop. You have to stop the cycle. Because we didn't say we want to blame him and look at him, but you have allowed this man to go up and down, in and out your life, having babies with him for 15 years. And it's been toxic. It's been this, it's been that. And you've tried to make it work, but you've allowed this for so long without him making the necessary changes. So you have to, sometimes the person changes, sometimes the situation needs to change, but most times the only control factor that you have is you changing. Yep. And so if he ain't changing, you've got to bet on you, and you've got to make certain decisions. And sometimes those decisions aren't pretty, but they're necessary.
Yeah.
So, and somebody said pressure him to put a ring on it. For what?
Just for what? You got 2 kids already. Y'all don't like each other, and y'all been on and off for 15 years. No, this whole thing is a dumpster fire.
But my whole thing is like, why would that even be the suggestion? Like, why would that even pressure her to so she can look like she's married, so he can make a respectable woman out of her when he hasn't made her that, and now it's at the relationship's on its last leg? What marriage gonna do?
Marriage ain't gonna do nothing but make it worse.
Make it worse. That's what I'm saying. Like, that is not good advice, family. And we tell women this all the time. Oh, well, why don't he marry you? Why don't he marry you? Marriage is not a badge of honor that we wear around our friends because we now wearing a ring. That's not what marriage is. Mm-hmm. Marriage is an actual commitment between two individuals that are going to sacrifice and make things better. And if you are in a situation with somebody and they have kids and they're at a toxic level, putting a ring on it ain't gonna make it better.
Marriage is a decision. It's a decision. That's what it is. It's not a ceremony. It's not all this other stuff. It's a decision. It's a lifelong decision.
It's not they're not, oh, I'm going to put a ring on. Oh, now we're going to put a ring on our finger after 15 years. And now I can't stand him. I can't wait till he leaves the house. I feel like I take
right.
deep breath of air when he leaves. Like, now we get married. No, that's not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. It should be something that at this point they've run this race, because they will be. I tell you, they've been together for 15 years. They get married, they're gonna be divorced in less than one. Mm-hmm. Guaranteed. We see it every day, right? People have been together for 20 years, get married, they divorce in one.
Yeah.
It's too. We cannot. We have to do, I think a lot of us have to do a better, when we talk about marriages and they're lasting long, we have to take accountability for how we make choices.
I agree.
You know? We have to
and the choices have already been made. So there's no reason to make a choice of getting married, because the choice was already made to not get married and have kids and be together for 15 years.
So somebody said, this is the woman. She said she is a baby mama, been with this man for 15 years. So the next man that works hard should marry her and take on his responsibility. No, she might as well stay. What do you think? Like, I'm gonna let you have that.
No. See, my thing is, if he were to get therapy and she was to get therapy and they were both to get with somebody else, the children would possibly see a better dynamic between their parents.
Yes, a healthier dynamic.
Being with other people.
Correct.
So sometimes you're not meant to be with the person that you had a baby with.
Right.
It's been 15 years.
15. Mm-hmm.
Them kids is at least 12.
Hello.
So what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, Mr. Let Go, I ain't gonna keep you no longer. We've almost gone 2 hours. I said we could do an hour and a half, so I apologize. I'm like, man,
this was fun.
Yeah, we had a good time. This was you enjoyed it. I want to see in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you guys enjoyed this conversation. I had a lot of fun. I could have kept going. I mean, but I gotta go get things together around the house. But thank you, Mr. Let Go, for joining me tonight.
You're welcome. Always.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Sam's ad libs. I know I'll be doing too much,
I love your ad libs. You hilarious.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Well, thank you, Mr. Let Go. Y'all know, again, Mr. Let Go, let them know where they can find you, what you have going on, and I'll go ahead and close out.
So the number one thing I want y'all to do, forget about me, go buy my Deeper Discussions card game. Deeper Discussions is everywhere. You could just Google the word Deeper Discussions and look for the green color Deeper Discussions card right here. So just Google Deeper Discussions and look for this green color card, because there's a couple sponsored up there. They be trying to cheat. And go buy my card game. Follow me on YouTube, which is Mr. Let Go. But other than that, that's it. I'll be back, because it's always fun when we get to talking.
Well, you ain't lying. We always have a good time. Always. Well, y'all, thank you guys for joining us this afternoon, and I will see you guys next week. Do you have another live coming up this week, or are you done for the week?
Maybe, maybe not. I just be.
Oh, okay.
I'm emotional. I just see something like, oh, I'm going live about this, so I don't have no schedule.
Okay.
I'm a Pisces.
Oh, okay. Well, I go live on Wednesday and Thursday, y'all. Same time, same place. So anyway, guys, you guys have a great afternoon, and I will see you guys soon. Again, thank you, Mr. Lego.
All right.
All right. See you guys.